we are going to try it this way. We're going to do a little screencast recording, and let me get rid of that tab bar below. We apologize for not having the time to, not time, but it not working pretty much.
Yeah.
We're a little thrown off
I don't
over
know
here, but
what
we'll figure it out.
happened
But the good news is this means that other people can get to see this too and get to learn a little bit about who A Squared is. So we're going to go ahead and get started and take a little look. For today, our agenda is that we are going to first talk about our vision and mission, then some ideas and partnerships, as well as some services, and finally our action plan and next steps. So that's what we're going to briefly go over today. And our mission is pretty simple and impactful.
Yeah, our mission at A Squared Arts is to bring accessible, adaptive arts to meet the needs and challenges of performers, creators, and artists everywhere.
Short and sweet. And a little bit about us. So two of us are right here. Hopefully you can match the faces to the pictures. I'm Elise Hackl. I am the executive director and one of the founders of A Squared Arts.
I am Hackl-Blumstein. I'm the director of programs here and the other founder.
And then also right now we have Andrew Jacobs working with us. He is our marketing and PR public relations director, does lots of our social. And there are also many more members coming soon to the team, as well as our plethora of independent contractors and mentors that we have as well. That's a little bit about us. And some of the services that we offer kind of work through new services and enhancements working with local organizations. So some of those new services include accessibility training, curriculum creation, content creation, accessible performances, programs, classes, disability features by disabled artists, which shout out, today is the last day to enter the art giveaway for this week on our Instagram at A Squared Arts. It's a really cool piece of art, and you just have to comment
Definitely
on
check
it.
That out.
Please do. It's a really beautiful piece. And next
It
week we'll have a new one.
Attention.
It deserves a lot of attention. And it's free to enter. And accessibility, advocacy, and awareness. And then some other enhancements are coaching, adapting programs and content that you might currently have, and providing sensory safe performances. So kind of lots of things. The two big questions that we would kind of want our partners, which is anybody in the community as our partner. It can be an individual, an organization, a state, no matter what, just a partner. We have kind of two big questions that we'd like to ask.
Yep. So first we ask, what kind of arts program are you currently running that already has kind of an accessible bent to it? And what are you looking for? Where would you like to see growth in that direction?
And then we work together, taking it from there to continue to build the accessibility within your programs or create some. So from there, our major two goals are kind of establishing those accessible programs, but then also creating safe spaces for artists. So some of this is going to be a little bit more on the education side. Some is going to be more on the performance side, and some is going to be a combination of both, or even just having safe spaces in the community for people with disabilities.
And as you're going to see, we believe in that as kind of a cyclical relationship there. It's not usually going to be one or the other, like you see on the chart. Our model has connections between accessibility for performers, for the audience, or anyone who's partaking. At least I think you can do a better job explaining the 3P model here.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically with our 3P model, we just want to focus on people, process, and product. So those are kind of the 3Ps, where the people that we look at is everybody who is involved and what they need and challenges that they might face. So this could be people with disabilities. It could be neurotypical people. It could be able-bodied people. It's like anybody, right? And what they need. And then the process are the steps that we take in order to achieve the end goal, which is in turn the product, right? And it's not necessarily a thing. It's the culmination of the process. That could be the actual performance, a display, an item, whatever that might be. And it's very cyclical because we want to continue the conversation. So it always comes back to the people, and that people and process kind of working together to create that culmination of the product, which of course embodies the people in the process. So it really is just this revolving cycle of everybody being involved every step of the way to ensure that everybody has what they need. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the ways that we create safe spaces for artists.
So on the programming side, we've got a few different kind of concepts that we go with. I believe 3 of them are going to be our own original content that we're planning to present. Those are going to be the Access, the Able, and the Belong events are going to be A Squared led, whereas the Sense programs are more of an adapted version of an existing art project. Those are our sensory safe live performances. But going back above there, we have the Access events, which are kind of the angle for that one is that it's really audience involved, which is something that works for a lot of people, really getting audience participation, not only participation, but to a degree, audience performance. Able events are specifically focused around kind of art products created by disabled artists. So those are meant to really uplift the voices of folks in the disability community. And then Belong events, those are more built around a community service kind of angle. So those are kind of our 3 different models, but again, um, things are flexible. They might even fit into more than one category sometimes. So
ideally, you can
that's
have
our
all 4
model.
in one. Yeah.
That is
But sometimes specific organizations want to focus on one or the other. So, kind of like Rob was saying, a big one right now that we're working with a lot of local organizations is Sense. So the sensory safe performances, where we work with park districts, organizations, community centers, venues to help create a sensory safe performance based on a collaborative vision and need. And so from there, we have, a partnership checklist where we come in and do a needs assessment and collaboration. We use what's called our performance accessibility checklist. It's like 30 pages.
It's a lot longer than
yeah.
this.
And we work together to kind of just review the processes that go into each show. So it really is a partnership. Our goal at A Squared is to be a partner organization, period. So all of the kind of enhancements and services that we do are linking people together, whether it be folks in the disability community or folks trying to offer services to the disability community, or folks just trying to be more accessible all around, folks worried about DEI, working on DEI, all of these pieces, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, had to say it. I realize it's more of an education thing, so I want to put it out there. And all of these pieces together, our goal is to be a partner in working with you, working with our community to continue to lead to an accessible path for everybody. So here's just kind of like a summary, and we do put some of our costs here if we have like vendors or sponsors or people that want to help out with this. This is more for local organizations, but if you're an organization looking at this, then absolutely take a moment, pause the screen. I will move our video for a moment right over here so that you can just take a little screenshot if you're an organization, and then you can reach out to us with any questions. But otherwise, I know most of you aren't, so we're going to go ahead and skip that part. This is just a summary of exactly what Rob was talking about with all of our events.
Yep.
So then again, here is that coaching and liaison kind of piece of this. And this is something that you as an individual might also want. So we do have some of that accessibility coaching available. We offer like a training and accessibility guide for a specific space, tailored to your organization, to your school, to yourself, whatever it might be. And the reason that we have an arrow with cost is because it's a sliding scale. And the ultimate goal is to have funding cover all of this for everybody so that there never has to be an out-of-pocket expense for anybody who wants to be able to create a more accessible space. So again, I will move our video over just a little bit for any organizations who want to pause and take a look at this as well. You'll get our beautiful little faces here on your screen. And we're going to continue forward from there as I move us over. So Rob is going to share a little bit about some of the other programs that we do as our director of programs.
Sure thing. All right. So in addition to kind of our more performance-focused work that we were just talking about, we are also planning to offer a variety of classes as an organization, as A Squared, and in partnership with other groups. In the works right now, I know that we have programs in culinary arts. I know that we're thinking about some things related to film. visual arts are on the table. Basically, anything that could be considered arts related is something that we're working on right now, and it could expand farther than that even. So, one of the things that we offer at A Squared, importantly, is training for people who have maybe a background in as teaching artists, but not necessarily a background in like adaptive teaching or accessible teaching specifically. We provide that aspect of the training for those folks so that they're prepared to teach to a wider segment of the population, including in our in-house classes.
And then on the other hand, too, we also work with like special rec associations
Mm-hmm.
who may not have the
Yep.
background in artistry to create the curriculum so that they can implement those pieces and
Right.
kind of bring
Yep.
in those artists, the artist mind into the lesson plans and the
Yep.
curriculum or the programs or whatever it is that they're doing. Give them kind of a template of the arts.
Yep. Like Elise was saying, it's really about connection, and that does go in both of those directions there. So we offer programs of various lengths. These are some suggestions of standard lengths between 30 minutes up to an hour, depending on the type of program, is usually a good fit. Some of these could be one time. Others would probably be a better fit as ongoing programs with multiple meetings, maybe once to twice per week for a more extended period.
And something that we especially realized with our programming is, when COVID happened, we had lots of challenges, but we learned that the internet opened up a lot more connection and a lot more lack of accessibility, but also more accessibility for some people.
Depends on the
So
person.
it really depends. And part of it being accessible is knowing that we have both of these in person and virtual programs available and continue to want to do both of those things so that
Definitely.
everybody can be involved.
Yep.
For sure. So do you want to talk about Cool.
Yes. So another thing that we offer, again, connected to that training for teaching artists, is connecting folks with one-on-one teachers or mentors who might be able to help them. And that can involve training up new folks to do the mentoring or lessons, or it can just involve making those connections. But one of our eventual goals is to have not only to be like the contact place, but to even make it more accessible than that, to have a resource hub where people can search for teachers or search for content too. For example, I know we've talked about accessible plays and musicals being on kind of our content hub as well. So going in there and being able to search either for a person who might be right as a teacher or for a piece of content as an organization. If you might be looking for a piece that has built in accessibility, so something rather than adapting an existing work, being able to go into the database and finding something that is already designed to have characters with whatever needs your performers have.
Yeah, and especially the piece of having representation in a lot of those resources. And a lot of, when we think about theater or seeing disabled artists doing work, actually having those embedded so that there is representation there is a big piece of why we wanted to create the hub. And Rob talked a little bit about kind of all of these artists types and art types that we kind of have, and the way that we think about creating like a mentorship, so a one-on-one mentorship, think about it like a lesson, right? Is somebody would come to us and discuss, any adaptations or accessibility outcomes and, their challenges, things that they want to learn and grow. And then we can help match with a teacher or mentor that would be right for them. And then we'll continue to work together to provide feedback and training for the teacher or mentor and engaging in those lessons. So you can see step 4 is engage in lessons. Engaging in those lessons as we continue to move. And again, that cyclical process is always there amongst kind of 2, 3, and 4, continual adapting accessibility outcomes, providing that feedback, and then having those lessons.
Either as an individual or an organization. It's not just a one and done contact, you have our support the whole time.
Correct. Absolutely, because that's how we continue to learn. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about curriculum and content. So we also specialize in creating curriculum, content, and classes, designing classes that are focused on the arts that work for you. So if there are certain areas where you're like, yes, I really want to do this dance class, but we don't know how to adapt it for somebody who uses a wheelchair, or I really want to do this song, but we can't read music, or somebody can't hold music or sing verbally. Any of these pieces, we can help you not only create the actual content, but also the curriculum for that class and kind of the lessons that go into it. And when I say class, I mean like program in general. It's not just an education class, although we do have education background. So those are here as well. This is, again, this page is for organizations. So if you're an organization, go ahead and take a little pause here. I'll move our faces out of the way. And we have those programs, we have those lessons in mentorship, as well as the content and curriculum that we are able to offer as like a curriculum writing. So the next steps for anybody who's come here and, thought that there might be something interesting here, something that they might want to use, we hope that we'll see you at one of our events, hoping for in person, because obviously technology can be great and cannot be. But we also hope that you'll take a moment to think about what might be useful for you, what might be helpful for you, and any questions or potentially hindrances that you might have thinking about designing spaces for accessible arts, and that you'll reach out to us. Again, we're doing that giveaway on Instagram. It's at A2Arts. If you're watching this after that's ended, I'm sure we'll have many more in the future. So please join. And if you're a disabled artist, please reach out to us. We would love to feature you. We would love to pay you for your work. Our goal is to continue to create those accessible spaces and uplift those disabled voices. So please join us at an event soon. And finally, if you have any further questions for us, please feel free to send us a direct email at either info@a2arts.org or personally to me at elise@a2arts.org. And we really hope to see you soon. I know we have a lot of great things coming up in the community shortly, so we hope to see you soon.
And thank you for watching all of this. I would even say that I encourage you to send us any questions you have, because that is how we want to grow as an organization. We want to know how to answer any questions, comments, concerns that folks in the community might have, and we want to grow from that. So thank you for
coming. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful whatever time it is that you're watching this. We appreciate that, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.